Are the chakras real or are they imaginary? Over the last 100 years or so, there's been a lot of commotion about the so-called reality of the chakras, with naysayers saying that it's all New Age mumbo-jumbo, while those who want to believe in the chakras have offered scientific explanations, like, for example, how certain chakras correspond to nerve plexuses in the body, or how the chakras are aligned with the human endocrine system. However, from the perspective of traditional views that we find evident in ancient yogic texts, this attempt to make sense of the physical, material reality of the chakras is in some sense missing the point. In the Hindu Tantric traditions from which the chakras derive, the chakras aren't so much spoken about as material entities and more as visualization devices, tools that are used within the context of Tantric yogic practice. The question of, are the chakras real, is, in some sense, at least from the perspective we're describing, sort of the wrong question. A better question might be, are they effective? Do they actually work when they're situated within the context of meditation practice? Of course, to answer these questions, we have to experiment, right? We have to actually make use of the chakras in a practical way. To experience whatever kind of truth or reality that there is to the chakras, we actually have to use them. And like with so many experiences in life, the proof, as they say, is in the pudding. Which is why I'm hosting on the Embodied Philosophy platform a 5-day chakra challenge. In this challenge, we're going to do 3 things. 1, we're going to discover one of the original ancient yogic texts in which we find this system of 5 chakras. 2, we're going to engage with a version of the practice that we find evident in this and other texts. And 3, we're going to experience what arises for us when we incorporate the chakras into a unique tantric form of meditation. Well, you might be thinking, why 5 days? I thought there were 7 chakras. Surely this should be a 7-day chakras challenge. Well, here's where we run into another common misunderstanding about the chakras. There are actually many different chakra systems that we find represented in ancient yogic texts. Sometimes there are 6, sometimes there are 10, sometimes 8, sometimes more than that. But in one of the earliest systems, there are 5, and that's the system that we'll be exploring in this 5-day chakras challenge. What I find particularly beautiful about this 5-chakra system is that it aligns with the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether or spirit or space. The meditations that we'll be exploring each day are therefore connected to each of these 5 elements, making it a really beautiful way to integrate esoteric meditation practices with images of nature. I'm Jacob Kyle, and I'm the director of Embodied Philosophy. Embodied Philosophy is an online educational platform that I started back in 2015 that is devoted to the dissemination of contemplative traditions and practices. So if you join me for this 5-day chakras challenge, you'll get a live call with me each day in which half of that 1-hour time will be devoted to studying some of the background, the philosophy, the history of this chakra system. And then we'll transition into a practice that's based on the element and the chakra that we'll be focusing on each day. You'll also get access to a pop-up community space where you'll get to meet your other challenge participants, interact with them, and in that space you'll also be able to reflect on some of the prompts that I'll be offering you each day. And you'll also receive a study guide from me. In this study guide, I'm going to offer some research, some of the philosophical context, and a little bit more visual detail about this chakra system, which you can use in your own study library or can begin to incorporate it somehow into your personal and professional practice. I'm creating this study guide as a resource for you to continue your studies in the years to come. Given how popular the chakras are today, it's surprising how little accessible information there actually is on the diverse range of chakra systems. In this challenge, then, we are going to enter a world very little studied outside of specialized circles of academia. But true to the spirit of embodied philosophy, we are going to enter this world first from our bodies, from our hearts, and open ourselves to the unique benefits that meditation practice and study has to offer. So I certainly hope that you'll consider joining me. If you're interested in learning more about the challenge, specifically about what we'll be looking at each day and a little bit more of the context behind this particular chakra system, then just head to the 5-day chakras challenge landing page and I will certainly look forward to possibly seeing you at the beginning of the challenge on July 17th.